What's up, brother? Listen, man, I love sports. I love sports so much that I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer games and the sports aren't sporting like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going wherever I want. All I have to do is open up the app, dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. This summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. There's something for everyone every day all summer long. Head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball.
All right, guys, the Brandon Aiyuk saga has taken another twist and another turn. According to the latest reports from Adam Schefter, the New England Patriots are out of the equation, meaning the Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers are the two finalists in the running for the All-Pro wide receiver if San Francisco ends up trading him. It looked like it was New England and Cleveland. Then New England dropped out. We talked about yesterday at length how the Browns kind of fit into this and whether or not Amari Cooper had to be involved in said deal. But G. Bush, as this continues to go back and forth with the latest report from Kimberly Martin, this morning saying she heard Aiyuk just doesn't want to be a member of the Browns. Are you kind of over the Aiyuk drama? Because that's kind of what it sounds like from our pre-show meeting, G.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm always usually there for an upgrade, man. You know, I'm the dude that goes to the car lot and be like, man, I just got this one, but they got the new one out. I'm the kid that's like, yo, them new ones is out, or I always looked at it as if the talent is better, then by all means I need to go out and upgrade the talent. But there are certain circumstances where 1 + 1 really don't be 2. Like, if I'm looking at this situation, and I've always said this, if it comes down to Amari Cooper and Brandon Aiyuk, do I think Brandon Aiyuk is a better player at this point of his career? Yeah. Yes. Do I think he's more explosive? Yes. However, I don't think he's that much of a better player than Amari Cooper, especially if it comes to his willingness to play for the Browns. And not the fact that I'm being jaded or anything like, oh, he's picking the Steelers over the Browns, so screw him. Like, nah, that's not how I'm going. I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of I need all my people to be 1,000% ready to go and be wanting to be part of this team and realizing that just like the San Francisco 49ers believe that they're on the cusp of a Super Bowl, the Cleveland Browns believe the same thing. So we need guys to be all in. And if you're talking about Amari Cooper, I mean, he's an all-in locker room guy. He's a dude that, still is productive. He doesn't give you any issues. And so for me, I just love his demeanor. I love him as a player. So the upgrade from Brandon Aiyuk is not so significant. It's not so great. I can understand if you telling me it's Justin Jefferson. Okay, well then
you move heaven and earth.
I'm going to have to convince him, Justin, come on over here. But I don't know, Jason, if convincing Brandon Aiyuk is the objective here, and plus giving up a lot of stuff if he don't want to be here, knowing that you got to give him this big deal.
I am 1,000% with you on this one. That, the Cavs have said this before in terms of trying to rebuild their roster. We want people who want to be here. If you want to be here, then we're going to get you out of here because you want volunteers, not hostages, like Mike Tomlin said before. And the Browns have been through this before. Like, we know now Odell did not want to be here when they traded him. He didn't want to come. And, I mean, if we're being honest, Deshaun said no. Mm-hmm. And they just kept adding zeros to the check, and then he said yes.
He said, oh, it's
but when people tell you something, listen to them. And if Brandon Aiyuk don't want to be here, okay, cool. Like, you got Amari Cooper, you're going to be fine. I do think, like, the advantage of moving on from Amari now and bringing in Aiyuk is it's almost like a baseball move of getting value for the asset. Mm-hmm. And whereas if you wait another year, that's if Amari walks, it's probably not the case. Yeah. You're going to lose him for nothing. Where if you can do this deal now, you turn him into something that you have for the next few years. So I totally get why the Browns want to do it, and I totally get why the Niners want to do it, because Tyvus has told you for 6 months, Amari Cooper is perfect for that offense. And of course he's perfect for that offense, and he's put up monster numbers. He put up monster numbers in that offense because he's put up monster numbers in an offense. Kevin Stefanski's trying to run the San Francisco offense. I've said that. He loves Kyle Shanahan. Stefanski loves Shanahan. He loves what they do on offense. Like, he's modeled a lot of what the Browns do on offense after San Francisco. So, of course, Cooper would be a great fit there. So it makes a lot of sense. But if Brandon Aiyuk don't want to be here, okay, cool. Like, roll with Amari. You've got a really good team, and here we go. Kick the ball off and let's play.
And you can't make this trade without the guarantee that Aiyuk's going to sign an extension. So this is not a one-year rental situation at all. I agree with both of you guys. I see the benefits and the reasonings behind both sides, from Aiyuk's standpoint and from the Browns' standpoint and willingness to want to acquire him. When you look at this roster, and this is what Andrew Berry's doing right now, I assume, and you say, hey, we have a championship-level roster. You have to be aggressive but not reckless. A reckless move would be trading for Aiyuk if he says, I'm not going to sign an extension here. That's a reckless move. An aggressive move is convincing him to sign an extension here, and even if he would be as Jason said, a hostage, well, if he signed an extension, he understands what he's signing up for at that point. You have guys in the peak of their prime with Miles and Chubb and Bitonio and Teller on the back end, Denzel in his prime. Like, these guys aren't going to be here in the next iteration. Cooper's at the end of his prime. Aiyuk's got 4 years of legit all-pro caliber football left. But if he's not going to sign the extension, it's a no starter for me. It's an over. It's done. Wrap. Finito. And it reminds me, G, and I know you've been in situations before, of it's like that really hot girl at the bar who you know's a little crazy, and you got to determine, is she worth the headache she's going to put you through for the end result? And in this situation, if Aiyuk is the missing piece of a Super Bowl team, then you put up with those headaches, but I don't think Aiyuk elevates the Browns from here to there by himself when you still have other questions about how can you get the ball to Brandon Aiyuk with all the other mouths to feed. Yeah,
it's like when you got a group, you don't go up to the hottest one and be like, hey, nah, man, I'm going to need the dumb. Who's your friend over there? Look, I saw her in science class. She seems down to earth. Look, we can talk to her. But not you, because you already know what comes with that. Like, you might be crying by the end of the night. I don't know. You've had way too many drinks. I'm not dealing with this. The reality of the situation is, and by the way, that whole scenario, that don't even happen no more. I would suggest all people out there, don't meet people in bars. Don't you just.
I got the Snuggets in the bar.
Hey, listen, that worked out for you well. Was it during the daytime?
No, it was not.
Okay, well, shout out to you and Miss McNuggets. G. Bush has had one or too many bad opportunities. But I will say this,
We've
though.
shot and missed a lot, too.
Listen. Oh, yeah.
The best of us.
Allen Iverson shots, too. If you don't really want to get down, my thing is, this is not the first time we heard it. I've been hearing like that 3, 4, 5, 6 times about him not really necessarily wanting to play. And
he said he didn't want to play for New England either.
Right.
That's why they eventually dropped out of it.
Just like, I'm be cool with that. And here's the thing: you gotta realize, if you're gonna give somebody a bag of money, right, and you're gonna say, well, we can coerce you with money. The problem is this: what happens when it get tough?
Yeah.
Like, when it get tough,
is he in it?
And you're not getting the ball, or you don't get the looks that you want to get. Look, now it's like you got buyer's remorse because you feel like, I really didn't even want to be here anyway. I remember the Kevin Durant and Draymond Green situation, and they was rocking and rolling and moving. But when you hire, in the words of Jason, when you hire mercenaries, right? There's no honors amongst thieves. When Draymond Green told Kevin Durant in that huddle, we won without you anyway.
Yeah.
Like, that changed the whole dynamic, because guess what? He was thinking about that.
Yeah.
So now you got a dude that's outside the fold that is telling you, I ain't even really want to be here anyway. It better go good.
So if it does come down to Pittsburgh and Cleveland, and it seems like Aiyuk would prefer Pittsburgh, how would you feel if he ended up signing with a division rival, or agreeing to an extension with a division rival and quote unquote choosing them over Cleveland?
It really wouldn't bother. It wouldn't bother me. Okay, cool. Like, the Browns still have. I think the Browns have a team that could go to the Super Bowl. So, it wouldn't really, because you still have Amari Cooper. It's really not that devastating. And Cleveland ain't for everybody. Like, I grew up here. I'll die here. Like, I'll spend this is where I'm from. I love it here. But I get it that this isn't a destination city for a lot of people. People hear Cleveland, they still turn up their nose in all of the sports, in baseball, football, basketball. And I think the Browns are still shaking the stigma of what they've been for the last 25 years. And we know it's different. Like, I see it now. I see how different it is with Andrew Berry, with Kevin Stefanski. I see the leadership. We talked about that yesterday. This is the healthiest this organization's been in 25 years. But for the outsiders, I think it takes a little bit longer for that to catch up, for them to realize that things are a little bit different in Cleveland now than they were. This isn't the same old Cleveland that it's always been before. And also for Aiyuk, I think he's in a tough spot because he's on a team that could go to the Super Bowl. So it's hard to walk away from that. No matter where he goes, it's hard to leave that. And I get he wants to get paid. I get it. I tend to wonder if his best option, play out the fifth-year option. You're probably going to get franchise tag, but you're going to make a ton of money.
Yeah.
So your money's coming, and I get it. In the NFL, you want to get paid now because you never know what injury lingers around the corner. And I've said it before. I'm pro-capitalism. Make as much money as you can when it's out there. So I get it. But he's in a tough spot because he's on a team that can go to Super Bowl, so he can win right now. Do you want to go to a team who has better odds right now to go to the Super Bowl, San Francisco or Cleveland?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Francisco or Pittsburgh? San Francisco.
It's probably San Francisco is the best odds out of anyone because they're in the NFC.
Yes.
Take everything else out of the equation.
So you're almost forfeiting your best chance to win to get paid, which sometimes guys have to do that. But it has to line up. I get for him personally why it has to line up so well. And I don't know that necessarily there is a best case scenario because how are we sure that Pittsburgh is going to want to pay him?
Yeah.
When's the last time Pittsburgh paid a receiver $30 million?
That's crazy.
And if you were to bring him into Pittsburgh, like George Pickens already ain't the most mentally stable guy.
He's that girl at the bar.
Yeah.
You kind of already have one that you have to give a little special, an extra treatment to.
And
now if you could bring Aiyuk in, he's your one. Like, Ayuk's better than Pickens. I don't think that's an argument right now. Pickens may eventually be better than Aiyuk, but Ayuk's coming off an all-pro season. He's your number one receiver. How is Pickens going to feel about going back to it, too? Like, that could end up blowing up in their face if they make that happen.
And you got two quarterbacks, none of which you're sold on.
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So, Pickens was mad all last year because he couldn't get the rock. That's just, to me, okay, if that's the reason, I wouldn't care. All right, you go to Pittsburgh,
It will make them better.
They'll be better. Don't get it twisted.
They're going to be a lot better.
I just don't know. This is I don't know why I can't get a read on it. I just don't know really how good Brandon Aiyuk is.
Aiyuk.
I know who I know Justin Jefferson. I know Jamar Chase. I know like the top of the food chain. But then it's like, okay, Brandon Aiyuk. I'm like,
by every advanced metric, he grades out and tests extraordinarily well. You could make the argument that it's because of the system he's in with the pieces around him which allow him to get opportunities that other top receivers don't get. I will fully buy that. But when you look at his receiving grades, his average yards per route run, his separation numbers, his yak numbers, his broken tackle numbers, his blocking, all grades out in like the top 10 percentile of the NFL. If that's a requisite conclusion because of that San Francisco offense, fine. But that dude's a baller, man. He's a baller.
Yeah. And he'll make the Browns better. If he's on the
Browns
Browns tomorrow,
any team he's on better. Yeah.
If he's here in Amari Cooper's in San Francisco, the Browns are a better team. But if he's not, if he's still in San Francisco or Pittsburgh or wherever else, and the Browns still have Amari Cooper, I still feel good about their chances. It's a really sort of strange situation where you kind of feel good either way. At least I do.
One last thing, then we're going to move on because we got Mary Kay coming up at 11:30, and we have a sign to talk about real quick. But you guys been following any of the Pretty Ricky Twitter drama in terms of the Brandon Aiyuk situation?
I actually just saw a little bit of it.
No,
yesterday.
I don't like it. You mean the R&B group?
No, it's a. I'll fill you in real quick.
Hey, look.
I'll fill you. Oh, real quick. This does apply to Brandon Aiyuk. Pretty Ricky is a random Twitter account that has a profile picture of a cartoon dog wearing a Giants hat.
Okay.
That has been saying for like a week and a half now, Aiyuk doesn't want to play for Cleveland, New England. He wants to be a Steeler. He's going to get traded to the Steelers. It's a done deal. It hasn't happened. The conspiracy theory is that all the big names, Schefter, Rappaport, Pelissaro, got scooped by this little dog, and they're now withholding this trade. I don't know if you saw Christian McCaffrey yesterday during an interview, called him a former teammate. You see all this weird speculative reporting about deals finalized, boom, 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 boom. But Pretty Ricky had it first on Twitter. And there's something about it, if he ends up a Steeler, this dude's going to blow up and take a victory lap over all of the Schefters and the Rappaports. And it would be... It would just be a very funny Twitter moment in the stratosphere of Twitter.
That's the type of shit on Twitter that just drives me crazy.
It would be very funny.
Dudes can be wrong 29 times, and the one time they're right, they're going streaking naked through the quad.
It's crazy.
And anyone who is like established can be right 29 times,
The one
and
time
that
they're
one
wrong,
time you're wrong,
boom,
killed for it. So I don't pay any attention to slap dudes on. I won't say the word I really want to say.
I'll show you something. It's funny.